Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Ben Roethlisberger suggests Justin Fields' position change to improve Steelers' offense. Justin Fields has been a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers for 8 months, and over that tenure, he's gone through just about every evaluation imaginable in the eyes of fans. Some fans have thought he was the savior at quarterback, others believe he's best suited as a change-of-pace running QB akin to Taysom Hill in New Orleans, and others still believe he needs to change positions entirely in order to have any success in the NFL, with running back often tabbed as his ideal spot due to his athletic gifts. But what about wide receiver? That's right, while the idea may be unusual on the surface, as Fields has been a quarterback for his entire time on the national stage, none other than Steelers legend Ben Roethlisberger made the suggestion on his Footballin' podcast, noting that he would love to see the look in limited action in the future. "I would like to line him up at receiver a couple times," Roethlisberger explained via Steelers Depot. "Put him at different spots. Because what that does, even if you don't do anything with it, again, any time that you can force an opponent to spend 5 minutes on something that they might never see, it takes them away from preparing for what they will see." Alright, on one hand, no, it feels as likely that Fields would want to line up at wide receiver as Wilson would want to kick it outside when the OSU product takes read option snaps from under center in change-of-pace looks. You could put Fields out a receiver and hand the ball to Najee. Like, you were gonna run a normal play. But having him a receiver now makes you think like, okay, are they gonna throw it to him? Are they gonna run a reverse pass to him? Roethlisberger noted. "I like the Fields package. It can't be every third and short or every fourth and short. It has to be used kind of sparingly and at the right time." On paper, Roethlisberger's evaluation makes sense. Fields has wide receiver athleticism, great size for the position, and probably gives fans flashbacks to Antoine Randall, who actually shared the field with Big Ben during their tenure together in Pittsburgh. Still, Fields hasn't exactly bottomed out as a quarterback and thus likely doesn't want to leave the position he loves, even on a short-term basis, when he could be in the mix for a starting spot again as soon as next year. Over the summer, fans began to hypothesize over what position Fields could play if he didn't win the QB1 spot with the Steelers, with camp video of him returning punts spurning on all sorts of interest takes. Asked about giving the position a shot, Fields shot it down, noting that he was brought to Pittsburgh to play quarterback. "Nah, I'm not here to do that," Fields said via ESPN. "It was kind of a joke, to be honest with you." No. At the time, Fields was focused on competing with Wilson, which was still up in the air at the time. "I'm taking it day by day. I'm definitely competing. I think Steelers quarterback Russell Wilson knows that we're competing against each other every day," Fields told reporters. "Him being out there for me, that helps me getting better, especially each other. I definitely don't have the mindset of me just sitting all year. I'm coming in every day giving it all I got and pushing him to be his best, and he's pushing me to be my best each and every day." Could Fields be an elite return man for the Steelers? Sure, and if there's an opportunity down 6 with 0:03 left on the clock in the Super Bowl, who knows, maybe he'd go back and take the ball to the house. But for now, at 25, Fields likely wants to stay put at quarterback. Brian Batko on Najee Harris returning in 2025, "I don't think it's gonna happen." The Pittsburgh Steelers selected RB Najee Harris in the first round of the NFL Draft in 2021. Since then, he's put together an impressive career. This is his 4th season, and if he doesn't eclipse 1,000 rushing yards, it will be just the first time in his career in which he's failed to reach that mark. Harris has remained the bell cow of the Steelers' backfield and is set to finish the year with well over 200 carries once again. However, there's a decent chance this is the final year of Harris's career as a Steeler. While he's been solid with Pittsburgh, he'll be a free agent next year. There's a chance that the offense sees a lot of change this offseason, and Harris could be one name that doesn't return. Pittsburgh Post-Gazette's Brian Batko joined the Pomp and Joe show on 93.7 The Fan on Tuesday. During his interview, he seemed pessimistic about the chances of Harris returning to Pittsburgh for the 2025 season. "I don't think it's gonna happen again next year," Batko said. "I really don't. Even when he was on that streak of 3 consecutive 100-yard games. I was never there because what we were seeing from him, while it was impressive and while it was helping them engineer victory, it wasn't really much different than previous years' Najee. He was his usual self, but he was doing it better. He was doing it more consistently. Najee Harris has never been a player who would choose to juke around a defender. He lives for contact and will always run over somebody rather than around them. Statistically, his game has never been one of the most productive in the league. The highest yards per attempt total for a season in his career is 4.1 in 2023. Harris is currently averaging 3.9 per carry. That leaves him on track to finish the year below 4 yards per attempt for the 3rd season in his career. That's partly why he's drawing ire from some. Harris has been called out by some members in the media for this. Many think he could be much more efficient. If he commands a large contract as a free agent, that could be something the Steelers consider when it comes time to make a decision. However, he's also had several good stretches this year, making the decision more complicated. As Batko mentions, Najee Harris did have 3 straight games this year with over 100 rushing yards. Unfortunately, those are the only 3 times he's reached that total this year. Harris's performance and that of the team over the rest of the season will ultimately decide how things will go in the offseason. Steelers OC Arthur Smith named North Carolina head coach candidate. The Pittsburgh Steelers offense has taken a step forward this season, averaging more yards and points per game than they ever did with Matt Canada calling the offense. And while many believe Arthur Smith could be doing more, which may be a fair point, he has done largely well with the pieces he's been given. Smith has done such a good job that he has been named as a candidate to replace Mack Brown as the head coach at North Carolina. The Tar Heels fired Mack Brown, and Smith's name was added to the board of potential candidates, per Andy Staples of On3 Sports. Should the Steelers lose Smith, it would be safe to bet that quarterbacks coach Tom Arth would be in line to become the next offensive coordinator, similar to how Canada was promoted from QB's coach to OC after Randy Fichtner was fired. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Arthur Smith? Leave your opinion in the comments.